Trump and Elon are going at it, and this is crazier than ever. This beef is the craziest beef in American politics, at least in the last few years. The bromance between the sitting president of the United States and the Tesla CEO is over. Guys, what's going on is absolutely crazy. We've seen Elon saying that Trump is on the files, the Epstein files. We've seen Trump saying that he will stop giving Elon government contracts. This is crazy. We'll break it down and we will break down the reasons why this happened, or at least the known reasons why this happened. And we will also speculate as to what other reasons and what other things could have caused this brawl to break out between the two titans of the Republican Party nowadays. I mean, Trump is the leader of the Republican Party politically, and Musk was the biggest donor of the Republican Party in 2024. So we're talking about two of the most important, if not the most important, figures of the Republican Party. And this is certainly something that the left likes a lot, because they can win more easily against a divided opponent. We also need to take into consideration the fact that when we have midterm elections, usually the sitting party loses. Usually they lose. Either their advantage is shrunk or it is completely turned over, which means that in this case, I believe Republicans will lose seats both in the Senate and the House, and probably in the House of Representatives, given the lead is like 2 or 3, probably they will even lose it totally. So Democrats will have control over the House, and then that's over, game over. So the biggest piece of legislation that Trump can possibly ever pass is within the midterms. And the midterms begin in 2026 because they start campaigning that early. So they don't begin now, the midterms don't start now. They don't start at the end of 2026, on November 4th, November 6th, whenever it's going to be, I don't know, the specific date, the second Tuesday of November. They don't start then, they start way earlier than that, because people start campaigning. And for example, guys, and we'll talk about mass deportations now and the big beautiful bill. Have you seen what happened? A video got like 50 million impressions on X of ICE people getting attacked and mocked. You think if Trump gets out of deportations, he's gonna win anything in the midterms? Because the liberals will say, oh, look at the evil he's doing. Because this is how politics work, guys. This is how politics functions. I'm sorry, it's sad it works this way. It's very hard to change it unless there is a dictatorial takeover, which is not good. But unless there is total power to one constituent, then it's very hard to change it. And I'm not advocating for dictatorship. I'm just saying things like they are. Unless there is someone or an entity that has a big chunk of power, nothing really changes. Now, in that case, it can change very negatively and very positively, as we've seen throughout history. But we're not going to talk about history, and we're not going to talk about dictatorships and democracies and whatever. We know America is America is a republic, or the name democracy, but it's a democratic country. Let's just say it like that, because I don't want to go any further. So Elon is pissed off at Trump because of the big beautiful bill, and because basically this big beautiful bill doesn't include the Doge cuts, which, by the way, I don't even know what they are. They report it's like $160 billion, but then they have the receipts for like $60 billion, which is way less money than what they had promised initially. It started with $2 trillion, then we came down to $1 trillion, and now we've got $150 billion, and we got the receipts for what, $60 billion? So it's like 6%, and even if they get approved, it's very far away from what the American people had been promised. So Doge was a failure. I'm not even saying it's Musk's fault, totally, because that's not true. But Doge objectively didn't work. But I understand why Elon is pissed off. Elon's like, well, I gave you $200 million. I did all of this. And in the big beautiful bill, there ain't anything I did. So what have I been working for? What did I do that was so important? Why have I wasted 6 months of my life, tarnished my reputation forever, destroyed my businesses, lost billions for this shit? That's what he thought, and that's why he's pissed off. More or less, that's the reason. Then there are also other reasons related to it. But he's complaining that the big, beautiful bill will raise the debt ceiling and it will add an additional 2.4 or 2.7 trillion dollars of debt within the next 2 years or 1 year. And he's saying that that's a problem. And it is, because America has been flooded with debt. And Trump added, $8 trillion of debt in his first term? Now, that number is a little bit hijacked, in all honesty, because there was COVID. Had there not been COVID, the number would have been way lower. So Trump has got a justification, but he still didn't do well with the debt, undoubtedly. Okay, that would have been 5 trillion without COVID and with something normal. So let's take COVID out of the equation. Even Biden added a lot, like 5 trillion. That's how much he added. Without the initial part of COVID. So it was favored by that, but it still added a lot because 2021 COVID was still hanging strong, then it disappeared. How? I'm not gonna talk about it because I have got no clue, and in all seriousness, I am not conspiratorial with regard to COVID because I genuinely got zero clue, I could care less. But it happened to disappear as soon as Putin invaded Ukraine. No wonder. But, this tells you how the news work, by the way. This is basically how the news work. I hope you understood what I said, but I think you did. So Elon is mad at this. Now, is Elon right about the big beautiful bill? The problem with this big beautiful bill is the following. The problem is that Trump has got such a tiny majority in the House of Representatives and in the Senate that it's hard for him to pass anything so significant. He's got a 3 majority in the House. He's got a 4 majority in the Senate, including the Vice President, of course. Like, how much can you pass with such a tiny majority? It's hard, objectively. Trump would like a better bill than this. There's no doubt about it. This is not perfect in any way, shape, or form. It absolutely is not. But the problem for Trump is that he doesn't have a big majority. Now, the good thing is that he needs to win. In order to get this bill passed, he needs to have a majority, a simple majority. So it has to be 50% plus 1 in both the House of Representatives and the Senate. So there is no need for a 2/3, 3/4, any of that stuff. It's a simple majority, but especially in the House, it's tough. Because we got 2 Republicans who are against the big beautiful bill already. And Musk is certainly going to put pressure on other Republicans with money and financial leverage in order to get them to vote no. So that's the situation. So Trump is already down to 1 person, to just 1 person as a majority in the House. Because Thomas Massie ain't voting for the bill, and nor is Ron Paul. So 2 are out already, gone. And none of the Democrats, of course, is going to vote in favor of the bill. None of them. So Trump is already with his back against the wall. So he can't propose anything massive. What does this big beautiful bill include? Tax cuts for corporations and rich people, and also the middle class to some extent. ICE funding, an additional like 70 or 80 billion dollars to the Pentagon. The Pentagon's budget is going to go up to $962 billion. It ain't going down, it's going up. So it's a very complex situation here. What could happen? And now I'm going to talk about mass deportations and the midterms. I don't know how many billions of dollars this bill is going to give to the border wall and the and ICE and deportations. But I heard that it's something around like 70, 50, 80. Irrespective of that, the basic premise and the basic concept I'm going to now explain is the fact that Trump wants to give money to ICE to scale up the deportations that need to go up ASAP. Because deportations are not happening. The media is inflating and doing fear-mongering for these deportations, which are little. They're not big, undoubtedly. We're talking about 500 people on average per day. Bro, this is fewer than 1 million. Trump was talking about mass deportations. He meant 15 million, 10 million. And we're stuck at what, 830,000 in 4 years at best? These ain't mass deportations. This is none of that stuff. He wants to give some tens of billions of dollars to ICE to scale them up and get to maybe 1 million per year. And that's still far away from the goal, okay? That still doesn't suffice, I believe. But if he does that, which I doubt he will, because I doubt he can get such a bill passed. I think in the end what's going to happen is that this bill will be modified and there will be less money allocated to ICE and the border wall, and it's going to be allocated to other things because Musk is going to put pressure and these people are turning on Trump. That's what's going on. But let's just say that Trump really scales up the deportations to a decent amount compared to the 10 million people deported promised. Let's just say Trump ups the game to 1.5 million deported per year, which is a long shot, but let's just say it does. Do you think the Republicans would stand a chance in the midterms if that happened? Like, ICE is not deporting anyone at the moment, and we see the videos on social media getting tens of millions of impressions, and not all the people, but at least the left wing is going, oh, look at this is fascist, this is dictatorship. Imagine if that was 4 times more. Because now we're talking about 500 people per day. Let's just say they scale it up to 3,000. That is actually 6 times more. You know what would happen? This is dictatorship, this is fascism. Well, I call this law enforcement, to be honest. Don't know why, but just cause border crossing is a criminal offense, go look up your law. I am not even American, but I know that border crossing is a criminal offense, and you face arrest, detention, and deportation eventually. So deportations are not happening. They can't happen for this very simple reason: the family separation stuff. The media. Look what they did with the family separation stuff. Trump is separating families. This is evil dictatorship. You can't do anything. Now, was he wrong when he was separating families? He could have done that way better. He could have just simply said, okay, I'll deport you because you're an illegal alien. You want to bring your son or don't. Make your choice. Okay? And that's what he's doing now, which is way better, especially with regard to the way it looks. Because separating kids from their mothers, that's not great. Okay, I disagree with it. But if you deport the father, who's illegal in the country, so you have to deport him and tell him, listen, you can either let your kid stay here or you can bring him with you, then I think that's a perfectly fine policy. There's no doubt about it. But deportations are not happening. And they're not going to happen because now Musk is pressuring everybody. It's not pressuring everybody, but he's going to put pressure on some Republicans. He's going to give them money if they oppose this bill. And they want to kill the bill and release the Epstein files and blah, 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 blah. But this conflict between Musk and Trump is definitely not good. And I hope they unite. I hope they come back together. But at the same time, I'm going to say this. I am not shocked in any way, shape, or form. We're talking about two people who have a very big ego, both Trump and Elon Musk. We're talking about two very different people. Okay, Trump is a conservative, but he's truly a right-wing person. Musk isn't a conservative, never has been, never will be. So they have different political ideologies. They happen to align because Elon didn't like Biden because Biden was against him and his EV mandate and whatever. And he wanted to end his government contracts and he wanted to hurt them. So he chose to support Trump, and also because Trump became pro-technology and pro-technocrats and everything. So they never were friends, or really friends. We're not talking about people that are ideologically aligned. Trump is pro-open market, Trump is pro tariffs, and Elon is against tariffs, he's pro-open market. So we're talking about two completely different people, there's no doubt about it. So I knew, and everybody, not everybody, but you could expect this to happen. Frankly, I didn't expect this to happen so fast, I'll be honest. I expected it to be a little bit slower. But it has been very fast indeed. So this is the situation we're looking at. And honestly, who's right? You ask me that. I think Elon to some extent is right about the bill because it's not a good bill. But we need to understand this is the only thing Trump can get passed. And he can get it barely passed. I doubt he will get it passed, especially with Elon putting pressure. Even without Elon going against him so strongly, it would have been hard for Trump to pass it. Now there is Elon going against Trump with all of his money and probably is going to support Republicans and give them paychecks for them to vote no. So this is a very complex scenario and complex situation that Trump is dealing with, which will eventually lead to shrinking the bill, making it even worse, and there's going to be no border wall funding and no deportation funding. That's what's going to happen. That's how it's going to end up. Honestly, I think that this crack between Trump and Elon is unsalvageable. Maybe they will be fine, like there will be diplomatic relationship and whatever, but the bromance is over, it's never coming back, I think. But this is my idea. Who's right? It's a hard thing to say. Nevertheless, Elon is right about the bill not being good. But we need to put this in a context, which is the fact that that's what Trump can get passed, and he can barely get it passed. Barely. And there is a considerably high chance that this bill will be a failure. There is a very high chance it won't even work. So what are we even talking about? This is the situation. At the same time, I know Elon is right about the bill, and in particular, he's right about Trump being in the Epstein files, probably. I don't think Trump is a pedophile. I don't think there is any scandal there. Probably he's not even gone to the island. But he's certainly in the files, most probably. I mean, he's been with Epstein loads of times. We've seen him with Epstein loads of times. So I think he's probably in the files. And that's one of the reasons that they want to release them. But then the compelling argument against that is, well, the Democrats could have released it. Couldn't have. Couldn't they? They did not, for the very simple reason that there is a very powerful lobby in America. I'm not going to say what lobby, I'm not going to say what people the lobby is, but it's a Jewish lobby. To cite a very renowned person called Ye, also known as the GOAT. This very powerful lobby in America, AIPAC, Jewish lobby, is not allowing this to happen. They're blackmailing politicians, buying them. Congress is bought by them, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars given to them. Miriam Adelson and all these folks. So that's why those files are never going to be released. And that's why the Democrats didn't release them. And the reason is very simple, as I told you. Well, okay. Someone says, well, if Trump is really in the files, why didn't Obama release them in 2015? Because also Bill Clinton is in the files. First thing. Second thing, also cause the Jewish lobby is too powerful. And they're like, no. They know that Epstein was related with Mossad. So they're saying, fuck no. And there is your answer. So they're never coming out, not under Trump, not under Vance, not under AOC if she wins, and not under Bernie Sanders, not under anyone. They weren't released under Obama, under Biden, under Trump, and they're not going to be released under anyone unless it's like in 100 years. or 50 years. We barely got the Kennedy files 80 years after, not 80, but 6 years after he was assassinated, and we learned nothing. You think there's a chance the Epstein files are released? There's no chance whatsoever. So this is the situation, but Elon dropped the truth bomb, and it's probably true. But the methods of Elon are not great. I mean, we know he's autistic, so that's the reason why he's so crazy. Remember the H1B feud? Go fuck yourself in your faces. That's what he told people disagreeing with him. I'm like, hold on, sir. I really like Elon as a guy. I'm a fan of his. But calm down a little bit. What's this going crazy? You disagree with Trump's bill and you're angry that he's gonna terminate your EV mandate? Okay, that's fine. Put 3 tweets out, maximum. He put 40 tweets out. 40, probably, something around that. He went back to Trump's old tweets and found Trump saying things against increasing the ceiling of the deficit. Like, calm down a little bit, sir. But I hope they make peace. We shall see. You know, I hope they make peace because that would be great for America. Thank you all for listening. See you soon. Have a great day. And I hope you're all fine. Bye-bye, guys. God bless you. And let's hope America gets the best out of this situation, because that's my hope. Bye-bye, guys, and take care.